It's Rob's favorite thing to come on stage and get booed for doing his job.
That time there was some boos, and there were a few grunts, like,
Boo, grunt, boo, grunt.
That guy again.
Oh, there's Robbie. Boo, Robbie. Boo, Robbie. But then sometimes you come out and say, hey, Robbie. And he'd be guessing.
You know, I didn't bring my in-ears, so I can't tell what you're saying.
Blah, 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 blah.
And it's the most glorious thing.
You're a jerk. You know what? Boo! Ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of this panel is all glorious, and at the end, you will boo us. Because you love them. Put your hands together for Kim Rhodes and Briana Buckmaster!
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
It always surprises me how hard it is to pick up the chair.
Yeah.
This is why children don't like to pick up after themselves.
No, that's it? That's the reason?
That's why.
Does your daughter just topple stools? That's all she does?
That's it. She's in my house, she's like, fuck you, stool!
Yeah, she's got a mouth on her.
Yeah, and then I'm like, eat your Cheerios! Yeah, it's real peaceful around my house.
Note to self, don't stop by. Jeez. Kim, you just got rid of your chair altogether? You're like, I'm not
I did. No, we're gonna do a bit where I sit down and then I do that thing where I try to get myself all the way around. You see that?
No, I haven't seen the stool bit.
Ready?
Yeah. That
basically like a whole panel of that.
It's so
fucking entertainment.
It's rock solid.
How much did you pay for these tickets?
Not enough.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Briana Buckmaster and Kim Rhodes.
Hi, you guys.
Wait, we have, whose bottle of water was sitting right here?
Probably Adam's.
Who wants it?
Yeah. Listen to them.
There you go. You have now sucked face with Adam.
I think there's a photo op for that. Or will be now. Hi, you guys. That's what you guys get. You get Briana on 9 hours of sleep. And you get 18 cups of coffee. That's right. Full throttle Briana. Which also means there's a good chance I might crash in the middle of this panel. No, I won't. I'm good. I'm great. I'm great. We're off to a good start. Hi, Kim. Hi, Briana. This is Kim Rhodes, everyone. I know, right?
Briana Buckmaster, everyone.
We know each other. No big deal.
We go way back.
Oh, look at the cute little line.
Oh my gosh,
cute little line.
You're adorable.
Oh, my nose is running. That's how excited I'm getting.
Oh my goodness.
This chair.
All right, get rid of it. Fuck that chair. Get out of here.
No, I thought I'm going to move it, Kim.
Oh, okay.
We're not at that point in the panel yet. Okay. I also see some youngsters in the line. I'm going to say I'm not going to swear, but I am who I am. So I'm going to preemptively apologize, and Kim will pay for your therapy.
It's my agreement.
That's
It's my agreement.
Yeah. All right, let's start over here since I'm looking that way. She's so
Period.
mad.
Let's talk about, oh, no, okay, there we go.
So this is Hannah, I'm Mel, and
Hi, guys.
we met through you guys, so thank you for that. And we kind of see ourselves in you sometimes as well. And our question is that, do you have any cute or funny friendship stories to share?
Ooh, friendship stories between the two of us? Just the two of us. Is that what you meant? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I guess we're like, yes, I'm sorry. Well, there's a set story when we first met.
There was a T at the end of number.
Listen.
There was a T. Did you see my face for a second? I was like,
Do you know what's so funny about that is Kim is like, wait a second.
I remember.
Sex story. Because that's what we decided our next podcast record is going to be about. So look for the wayward sex. When I say it like that, it sounds different. It's just like, what kind of sex did you have? Wayward sex. figure that out. Sorry, you had a question. Okay.
The set story. You're telling the set story.
So,
with a T.
Yes, set. Just comes out as sex with the microphone. It's not me. So I am not your fault. Not your fault. Not your fault. I first met Kim. I was very excited. I was in a very similar situation to today. I mean, like tone-wise. And I was just so excited. I heard so much about her. She's the longest running female on the show. Is that correct?
No, Mary's been around longer, but at that time,
that time you had her.
Yeah.
So she was the longest running female on the show, and I just heard she was so great, and I was so excited to meet her. And so I'm also being fairly green in television. Didn't recognize that just because I couldn't hear people acting didn't mean they weren't acting. And so I drive up in the set van and I see her step out of set, which I assumed she had been shooting inside, step out of a building, and I do this. Kim! Hi! It's Briana! We're gonna be working together! It's so nice to meet you! And I'm not sure what Kim's reaction was because it was very far away.
I think my reaction was,
I'm going to keep acting.
Alex, why do I hear fire?
Oh, new girl. Poor new girl. I was just very excited to meet her. And then we quickly, in my head, quickly became friends. And we would go at 3 o'clock every day. We would go every day. We're like, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Cookies, yeah. And we'd go to craft services and we'd have a 3 o'clock cookie and coffee break, and it was the bomb. And ever since then, we now are always like, do you want a cookie? You want a cookie? It's always cookies with us.
Cookies.
Big fan of cookies.
Good cookies. Yeah. Well, why are you doing this to me, microphone?
Why do you have to be like this?
Why?
You hurt me like this.
Apology.
Liz!
It's okay.
Liz!
I'll just alternate between shouting this. It'll be going great.
Did you do that or did the microphone do that?
Don't that myself.
You're talented. Sure. Okay, hi. Oh, Jesus Christ. What about yours?
I know.
Smell that. It's fucking stinky boys we gotta work with, yo. Luckily, I never get this close to any of them. All right. Yes. Final answer.
Yes, final answer. Just meeting each other. And then from then on,
There's honestly too many cute, adorable, also hardy, and like
I think you paying to get my ear stabbed with a big needle was pretty cute.
You're in Germany. I paid for her piercing as a gift.
Yeah.
And then Supernatural made her take it out.
They did.
But we love our job. It's okay.
I still have a scar.
Aw, love scars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we love each other. There's many, many stories to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi. First, I'd like to say I loved you in The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And also, on the show Riverdale, I kind of wish they would have casted you as Jughead's mother. That would have been perfect.
Exactly. How do we make that happen, y'all? If anybody can do it, it's you guys. Write some letters. Does Jughead have a mom on that show?
Yeah.
She already showed up, though, right?
not
She's
for
showing
long.
up next episode.
Yeah, it's already been established. But in my heart, it's still me.
Yeah. If that is the kid I'm thinking of, that kid is cute. How old is he, though? How old is he before I go on more about that? Never mind. Let's move on. Let's move on.
They're 21.
Okay, good. But still, let's move on. I just realized, just in that moment, I have reached cougar age. Like, it is not adorable and whatever, because I'm not in my 20s anymore. It's now gotten to a point where it's like, okay, Brianna. That's not okay. And I'm like, no taken. Okay, great. It's not that pervy.
Okay, so my question is, how different it is working with Cole and Dylan compared to Jared and Jensen?
Not at all. No, I'll take that back. I did have, and this will cover the prank question as well. Drink. I brought it up. Y'all get to drink. So I'm not subject to a lot of their pranks. But this is one of the things that Dylan and Cole could never have done to me. Jared and Jensen are exquisite gentlemen. They are lovely, and they are kind, and they hold doors for everybody. And so we were walking off set after shooting, and they were about at where the end of the stage is, and they both looked at me, walked through, and then let the door shut behind them. And I thought, that's weird, but I thought nothing else of it. And I walked through the door, because it's a double door for the stages, so I go through one door and then you're going to go through the second door to outside. I walked through the door and I just happened to glance out of the corner of my eye and I saw Jensen in the corner doing this. And I had just enough time to go, huh? When Jared went, picked me full up, spun me around, I squealed like a child because I was deliriously happy and terrified at the same time. And I can safely say that Dylan and Cole never were capable of doing that to me. Thank you.
I love that.
Hi.
Hi. So my question is like once you like get into the habit of like going to the gym and stuff, what are some tips and tricks not to get discouraged like once you're already in the process? Because it's hard enough to get in the process.
No, you gotta take that because I don't go to the gym.
That is a blatant lie. You went this morning.
Oh, here. I go when I have no other alternative. And I want to eat cake should any opportunity arise.
Let's rephrase that to exercise rather than just go to the gym.
Oh.
Shall we? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Yes.
I just found an exercise that I really enjoy doing. It just happens to be very physical, but I ride horses. And so one of the ways that I did it is I thought, that looks like fun. And it is. And the fact that I come off of the horse and I'm soaked in sweat, and the funny thing not to say is, well, who is doing the work out there? Fuck you.
Who says that? I will cut them.
Says that.
I will cut them. My dad made a joke once when I was young. I grew up on a farm, and so we didn't have horses, but lots of our farm neighbors did. And once I got on a horse when I was young, and it was a bareback horse, and I got on, I went like this, jumped on, and the horse literally went, oh! And my dad laughed and laughed and laughed. Anyway, people be bitches, don't take it personally.
There you go, that's the first piece of advice. People be bitches, don't take it personally.
There you go. The key about exercise, you guys, is you've got to do it for you. And you've got to do it for your health of the health of your body. It can't be because you're mad at your body. It is not a punishment, it is a reward. You are strengthening your body. I like to exercise because it makes me feel strong in every way possible. I love that my workouts are only 40 minutes. I go somewhere, I do a really very, very challenging workout, and then I come home and it's done, and it makes me stronger. I feel very fortunate that I have a body that allows me to get stronger. I feel very fortunate that I can afford to, that I have the time to do these things. So we need to think of exercise and health as a reward, as opposed to a punishment or something that we have to do because we don't like ourselves. The more you love yourself, the more you'll want to reward it with things like this. So as Kim did, as I do, find something that feels like a reward, something that you feel, even if you're not excited about it, because exercise is physically challenging, and physically challenging things are not something that you're going to gravitate towards when you're tired, but find something that I like to think about how I'm going to feel after the exercise. which always is it's a scientific fact that it raises the good hormones, or I'm not a scientist, you guys.
Sciencey things.
Sciencey things. Endorphins. Thank you, Mr. Science.
Girls, people.
Mrs. Science. Or however you identify, I don't know. Point being, be good to your body, and it will be good to you. Exercise and health are not a punishment. They are a reward. So treat them as so. Okay? Sweater, everybody. Sweater weather. Hello.
Hello.
I love the wave with the iPhone.
Oh, just so I don't drop it. I love your hair, by the way.
Thank you.
I think we all need to take a moment to appreciate her hair.
It's new.
I love it.
Thank you.
So I have kind of a fun question. I myself have recently acquired a reptile, which is something I've always wanted. And I was wondering if there was an animal growing up that you have ever wanted, or at some point in your life.
Wait, you acquired a what?
A reptile.
Okay, all right, there we go, thank you.
Is there an animal, like growing up as a kid or now as an adult, that you've like always kind of looked at and been like, I want one of you eventually in my life?
Goats. And an otter.
You know what?
I don't think they could live together happily. I have to work that one out, but yeah.
I was gonna say otter, that's a new love for you, right?
It's
or a new public love.
It's a recovering of an old love. I also, as a kid, really loved wolves. I worked at the zoo in Portland, and I would spend my lunch hanging out with one of the wolves, and when I called him, he would come out. Yeah, he knew Zane.
Dream!
Zane
You're
knew
basically Mowgli.
Basically.
Right?
Yeah.
But as a kid, that's a dream.
It was fun. There were like
You
all
must
the
have felt
tourists would be there with their cameras going, where are the, and I'd be like, Zane, Zane! And he would come out and be like, do I get to fucking eat you today, bitch? No? What? God, you're human. I felt we bonded.
Kim's a huge animal lover. Does anybody know that? This is Kim when we're having a conversation and literally, like a fucking dirty three-legged rat will walk by. She'll be like, yeah, fuck that guy, and damn the man. Oh my goodness. Oh, are you lost? Oh, what's your name? Hi, oh, you have a friend. What's your name?
Is you hungry? Is you hungry? Okay, chew that before you swallow it.
Chew it. Oh shit, that's my shoe. I'm gonna need that back. Yeah, Kim's a big animal lover. I grew up on a farm, a chicken farm. I know. No, don't applaud. I was just a dirty farm kid, and the animals that we had 2 dogs, one named Kirby, one named Tess, and I probably saw them 4 times in my entire life. They were just like farm animals, so they were like anywhere. We had, I think, 5 cats. They were farm cats, so they were, I think we named them, but they didn't sleep with us, so they weren't like cozy animals. I got a cat when I was younger, but the cat that we have now, we adopted from a friend of ours who has his brother and had to separate them, and he didn't want one of them going to the shelter. So we took him in, and we love him so much. I remember when I was pregnant, I used to always, like, my husband would go to work, and I'd be like, can you bring me Goose? Our cat's name is Goose Goose. And the cat would come and like sleep on my chest and be so fucking miserable. Like Jose used to call me Elmira. Is that the?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cat. And now the cat won't leave us alone. I always said I couldn't possibly love my child as much as I love my cat. I used to say that all the time. And now I just want to sleep. I'm like, get off of me! But yeah, we had animals growing up, but they were farm animals, and so I didn't have the same relationship with them that I have now with my cat, which is, our cat is a family member. We always say we're a family of 4. We always say that. I only have 1 child, but I have 1 cat. And a few weeks ago, I also had a rat in my house.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. That was thanks to Goose Goose, who needed some attention. But thank you. Cats are dope.
Thank you and congratulations. I like that. I've never been able to wrap my head around having a pet that requires me to feed it other pets.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, fuck you, crickets are pets to me. If I name it, it's a pet. So, yeah, so my daughter has asked for a few carnivorous creatures every once in a while, and I'm like, nope, hard pass.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, hello! This is what I'm like with kids. Hi! Oh, where's your
What's your name? Don't bite me in the face.
Okay, sorry.
If Supernatural could have a crossover with another show, what would you want it to be?
What a great question.
Sweet life.
Crossover.
Can I answer two? One is the Avengers cartoon, so my daughter would finally watch something I did. Not lying. And the other one is Doctor Who. So that could be on Doctor Who.
I feel like my answers are too dark. So I'm going to do one fun one. My Little Pony. And you like that answer? Medium? Okay, fair enough. I can take a note, it's fine. And The Handmaid's Tale.
That's not
I just like to see that many women on screen. I don't know. In general. Not on Supernatural. I'm on Supernatural. Supernatural loves its ladies, you guys. Hey! We're not talking about that right now. These little ones, or we're talking about My Little Pony, goddammit. Do you have a question too, littler one?
What's your favorite animal?
That's a tough one.
All of them.
Yes.
What's yours?
What's yours?
It's all of them too.
All of them too? Oh, my heart. Kind of my ovaries, but mostly
the
not.
animal.
I like cats. I'm a cat lady. I like dogs too, but I like cats. Those are both great questions. Thank you. To both of you, to all of you, but especially the little ones. Man, I love it. Hi.
Hi. First off, I just want to thank both of you immensely for helping me just to come out and be able to not be afraid to speak out and be myself. And anyways, my question is, if you could play Sam and Dean for one episode, who would be who and who would have to save the other one?
Oh, who would be who and who would have to save the other? So, oh wow, who would be which? Oh.
There's, you know what, in different ways, I always say like Dean and Donna are similar because of the donut thing, but in a lot of ways, I think personality-wise, I think Sam and Donna are more similar, right? Which is funny, I don't think I've ever thought about that.
And Sam and Briana I think I'm probably...
Yes, you're very, I say that you're very...
Like, what's the problem? Let's fix the fucking problem.
Yeah.
If there's no problem, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, very Dean.
Yeah.
Jody and Dean. Yeah, that's our final answer.
Yeah.
We would save each other.
Yeah, there would be mutual saving going on.
We'd be fucked without each other. For sure.
Yeah.
As would Sam and Dean, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you.
You did great. Hello.
Hello. I absolutely love your guys' podcast, by the way. I listen to it at work, and everyone looks at me like I'm a crazy person.
Thank you.
Because I'm just cackling the whole time. When you guys both individually first got on the shows, did you realize how big your characters were going to be for not just the show, but the female community?
No. No, I was just supposed to be one and done. I showed up, my son came back from the dead, ate my husband, and then had to be shot. As one does. And it's funny because a lot of shows will be like, oh, your character can always come back, and I have learned to be like, oh, thank you. Call me. You can't invest anything in the future in this industry, otherwise you'll just be staring at a non-existent email screen. And then when they did bring me back, I was still like, what? But the real stunner was the first time I did a convention. I swear to you, I thought you thought I was someone else. I came out on stage and it was like, yeah, go, girl with the tattoos, you're cool. And I was like, woo! Super confused by this. So no, and I still can't fully wrap my head around it. I just welcome it and am grateful for it. And I thank you eternally for everything physically and emotionally that you have given me. So thank you.
I second that. The convention thing is a whole different ball of wax. It is like, this is fucked up. If I ever let my brain go there, I'm like, no way! No way do people want a picture with me. That's bananas. I also was a one and done. I wasn't even a guest star on that show. Another character on the show was the guest star of that episode. But yeah, the show, it was the woman who played, who was the monster. She was the guest star on that show, technically. I mean, I can't speak on what other people's opinions of me are. But I came onto the show being very new to TV, as I've talked about, and I didn't really know who Jensen and Jared were. I just thought they were really cute, and I didn't want to fuck up in front of them, which is the joke about why Jensen's always like, oh man, I tried to make her laugh and she just held her own. She held her own. I was like, I just didn't want to fuck up, man. I didn't want to get in trouble. But I remember when they were doing the visual effects stuff, like kind of around my body, and I was lying in that episode, lying on the spa bed, and they were doing the stuff around my back. I remember Phil Segretia coming up to me and going, I came down like this because I had my face poking out of the bottom, and he was like, you know, there's another sheriff on this show, played by an actress named Kim Rhodes. I think it would be funny if there was like an episode where you guys met, and like met at like a sheriff convention or something like that. And I swear to God, Brad Creaser, camera A, was like, that sounds like a spin-off. That was 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So, as someone who's like 6 months pregnant and doesn't know how they're going to make money to support their child, they're like, oh, I would love another episode of this show, guys, if that's possible. So I was super excited about that, but no idea that it would bring all of these things, and most importantly, bring me to Kim, who, as we were saying just half an hour ago, Kim feels like she's the other half of my brain. I feel like I say things to her, and I feel like I don't actually have to say them. She just suddenly knows them. We just work. And we're excited to continue to create things for you guys, and we're grateful that you guys want them. So thank you. Thank you. Hey, hi. Did you ever do that thing where you fall a little bit and then you try to make it look like you meant to do that? I just did that.
All the time. I usually make it all the way down though. And
can't wait to see the gag reel, y'all.
Oh, I made the gag reel this year.
She sure did.
Yeah, you know it's good when Jensen Ackles goes, no, stop, play that back, I gotta see that back. I'm fine, guys!
Yeah.
No, they both ran to me and made sure I was okay. And then went back and laughed hysterically.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Caro. And my question is, what's like the most bizarre or memorable moment that you've had with a fan at a convention?
Bizarre moment we've had with a fan at a convention? That's all I got. Yeah?
Last night.
Yeah? Okay. Bizarre. I don't know. This is Kim's answer, and I'm going to steal it because it was a good one. We're weirdos. We're weirder than you. Okay?
True story.
Fuck you. Nobody scares us. Okay? We're all the same weird So give me all your weird shit, I don't care. Bring it.
I gotta say that all I see is examples of humanity. And everything I see, I can relate to. So I literally, I know this sounds like a bullshit, I'm standing on stage and people are recording this, and if I say something fucked up, I'm gonna hear about it on Twitter. That's not the truth. The truth is, all I see is expressions of humanity, and I don't know if you've ever seen me all-capping Neil Gaiman, but...
All-capping, I love what you've done with that.
This girl, it is a verb now. This girl all-cap you. I will all-cap you.
I love that.
I get it. So when I'm in front of it, I don't go, well, that's weird. I go, oh, this is how this human is expressing themselves right now. Cool beans. How can I show up for you? Thank you for showing up for me. I love it when people show up honestly in front of me. So I cannot honestly answer this question because I love every moment. I also love the moments of people that are just like, hey, thanks. It's like, there you were! Yay! People! So sorry.
I'm taking the thread out of my pocket. You know when they do that, you get new pants and they thread things up and you're like, I'm coming in. Just so you know what I'm doing down here.
What's currently going on.
Yes. But I do want to say...
Wouldn't it be hilarious if it was like attached to her and her pants fell off?
I'm not wearing any underwear either. That would be extra special. Everyone would win. I'm free! Look at that! Yes! Listen, guys. Listen. I've not had any weird things, but I think that my most favorite thing was my very first convention. It was in DC, and it was, 3 years ago now, I think. I walked in, I made the choice to stay at the hotel where the convention was at. I didn't know any differently. So I go in to check in, and it is a madhouse. There's people everywhere, all wearing supernatural garb, and I was so nervous. I didn't know, I knew Kim, and that's about it, I think. And so I get into an elevator with a bunch of people, and one of them asks, so are you here for the Supernatural convention? I went, nope, never heard of it. Convention, this show about two brothers. No, I don't know, just here on vacation. I was so nervous, I didn't know what to say. Anyway, that combined with later that weekend going into the bathroom, the public bathroom, and I just walk in to wash my hands, somebody just goes, ah! I washed them, I swear. Yeah, those are fun. Those are fun for me though. I love you.
Thank you.
Great question.
Hi. So, if you were to bring back one of the dead characters, who would it be?
Who's dead? Who's dead anymore?
Who's dead?
Got that fucking alternate. I can't keep track. Who's dead? If we want to bring back an actor?
Well, and is this to watch or to act with?
Yeah.
To watch.
Oh. I like Julian. I think he's pretty good. Thinking of people who I think are like, there's nobody that's on Supernatural that's a bad actor. Am I right? Hey. There are just people who I didn't get to see much of, probably because I just didn't see the episodes they were in, that I've become friends with, and I know Julian's other work. He's worked with some friends of mine in Toronto, and I just think it would be I just think he's a great actor, and I'd love to see more of him.
Well, I mean, technically, some of the people I really enjoy watching are back. So I don't know if you can say, you can't say Bobby because Bobby's back. You know, Charlie Hussein.
That's what I'm saying.
But I will say, popular or unpopular, don't give a fuck. This is my final answer. I miss Crowley. Deeply miss his presence on the show. So there you go.
Love that. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
I know Kim's answer.
Yes, you give my answer.
New Zealand. I've never been to New Zealand, and New Zealand's the one place that Kim's like, if I get asked to go for a convention there, I'm not gonna ask any more questions, I'm just gonna say yes. And Kim is a businesswoman, so that says a lot. For me, I don't know. I haven't really traveled that much. The only traveling, when I was a kid, the only traveling we did was to go to the campground and pitch a tent. And actually pitch a tent, so don't be weird. Be weird about that. Yeah, we didn't travel when we were kids. My parents couldn't swing it. So I didn't start traveling until I started doing conventions. And we don't get a ton of time to see where we're at, but that's gonna change. When I was 30, thought that for my 30th birthday I was gonna go to Paris. And that was always my place because it always sounded very romantic, and I'm still excited. I'm gonna go to Paris next year and I'm so fucking excited about it. But for me, it's like who I'm with and what kind of experiences I have. It's not necessarily the place, because I've definitely had places in my mind that were gonna be epic and all of these things, and then they ended up just kind of being regular, and then I've had the best times of my life in, Seattle. So for me, it's about the experience. Not so much about the place. The more foreign to me, the more my bubble can be popped. The first time I went to Italy, I was like, oh my God. Because it's ancient. It's not just old, it's ancient, and I'd never seen anything like that. I imagine it'd be the same thing if I went to Tokyo. So I haven't traveled enough to have a place where I really want to live. There's just places that I want to expand my scope of the world. That's what I look forward to. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
I love it. I'm just gonna say, you don't have to clap.
Yes, you do.
Okay, fuck it. Never mind. Clap hard on it. I'm kidding.
You totally do.
You don't. Okay, thanks.
As being women of Supernatural, what do you hope your female audience grasp from your characters?
Ooh. What do I hope? You know what? I hope that you take from my character and my work and my existence on this planet whatever will most help you be who you want to be. So I genuinely, I put it out there, and my hope is that if you do receive something from it, it's what you needed. I can't tell you what that would be. I know for me, I've gotten from Jodie a sense of perspective and a willingness to love in spite of how much it can fucking rip your heart out. That's inspired me a lot. I know that there are people that, I do not happen to be a mother who has lost a child, but I know that there are mothers that have identified with Jodie and with her pain, and if I can do anything in this planet to ease a burden like that, I will do it for as long as I have breath in my body. But what I hope you get is that it's a gift. Thank you.
I hope that you get from Donna that you do not have to look a certain way, you do not have to speak a certain way, you do not have to act a certain way to be treated as a woman, if that's what you want.
And to be a badass.
And to be a badass.
Like, badass is what you make it.
Yeah, man. You could be a badass and still, say okie dokie and eat a powdered donut, There is no one square that you check off to be a woman, or one square that you check off to be a badass. We are all complex people. It's what makes this world the incredible world that it is. And the more we embrace that, especially in media, in television, and in film, the better it's all going to be, because we will all feel like we are represented, and we'll all understand how exactly we do relate to one another. And wouldn't that be a peaceful world to live in? Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Who asked that? You didn't ask that? Did she fuck off? Well, where are you? She hates me. It's fine.
Hi. Hi. So I just want to say I love you both so much, and how you always say to just be yourself and not to change. And so my question is, what's your favorite episode to film, and what was your favorite episode to watch?
Ooh. To film, for sure, Hibbing. For sure. Second would be Breakdown. Just for me personally, as a challenge for my craft. That was quite a wonderful challenge and gift given to me. And my favorite one to watch is still French Mistake. Because I just think that that's such a brilliant idea. I wonder how it went down in the pitch session. I wonder if people were like, I don't get it. Or if they were like, it's too off tone. Like, I wonder if it was a hard sell. But I always say that I love that episode because the show's filmed in Vancouver, where a lot of my friends are actors, so a lot of my friends were in that episode portraying my friends who work on Supernatural. So it was funny to see my friends doing impressions of my friends. It was, yeah, it was great.
I loved shooting Wayward Daughters. Because it was Wayward Sisters. You know what the fuck I meant. Well, I'm about to screw up all the names. I need help because I don't know the titles because I'm a bad fan. Where Dean lost himself. Where he forgot who he was.
Regarding Dean.
Regarding Dean. I'm like, it wasn't remembering Dean. That's wrong. That's what we had to do. Oh, God. Oh, that was like a master class, and it just got me. It got my funny bone, and it got my broken heart.
I was gonna say that.
I love that episode because I'm watching my friend be brilliant, and that's why this is why I don't have words for it. It just lights me up, and so that's probably my favorite one to watch. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, back to you.
Hi, I just really quickly wanted to say that you're both super pretty, and I was wondering, what is your favorite trait about the characters you play?
Oh, what's our favorite trait? I love that Donna is, I love that she has a sunny outlook on life, despite hardships that she's been through. I don't always feel like I have that. I've yet to do an episode in that character where she is cynical at all. And she's had a hard time. I created a whole backstory for Donna you guys don't even know about. And you'll never know about it. But she has had a rough time, and she still has a sunny outlook on things. And I love that about her, and I wish I personally had more of it, if possible.
I like that about Donna too. I like that about Briana too. I have mentioned I love Jodie's capacity to love in spite of being fully aware of the pain. I also love that the season finale, when Sam is in the room and he's like, yeah, we're probably all gonna die and this will probably be impossible, but who's with me? And Jodie doesn't say anything. He just knows she's with him. She just, that's all it takes. And I admire a lack of loquaciousness in human beings because I do not possess it myself. I have to talk about the feels and make sure you feel the feels, and then I talk about the feels you're feeling about my feels and the feels and the stuff. And I love that Jodie is just solid and present and on their side no matter what. And yet she still checked in with Alex to be like, you good if I die? And Alex was like, I'm good if you die. She's like, then I'm going to die. Let's do this shit. I love that about Jodie.
Yeah, man, Jodie's hardcore. Jodie's like who you'd want to walk down a dark alley with. Kim's also that person. Mostly because Kim would be like, nah, this alley doesn't look good. Let's walk down here on the street.
Either that or I'd be like, oh, you look like you're having a tough time. No, don't point that in my face, honey. Let's talk about this.
That's more accurate.
Clearly you've got
She would go into a dark alley to see if she could save anybody. Kim's always the person you call if you need to get bailed out of jail. We're bailed out of many things. I've never been in jail, and Kim has bailed me out of lots of things. Emotional things. Hello.
Hi. Love you both.
Thank you so much.
If Sam and Dean were to wake up in women's bodies, what aspect of hunting do you think they would find most challenging without male privilege? And what do you think?
Okay, thank God. I was like, am I dumb or is this already hard? Okay, slow down.
All right.
I need you to be louder.
I was ready, like playing with boobs. Oh no, wait. Oh, we're going much deeper than that. Never mind.
Okay. I love this question. I'm into it. I can do this.
Let's go.
I need you to work with me.
Okay. So Sam and
squaring off slowly and louder.
Okay, so if they were to wake up,
if Sam and Dean were to wake up,
gender swapped.
Okay, so they're boys, they're girls. Now they are female versions of themselves. I need specifics on these questions, people.
Okay, so Sam and Dean are girls. Go.
Well, male brain, but female body. So what aspect of hunting do you think that they would find most challenging now that they've lost male privilege? And how would Donna and Jody guide them through that? Like, what advice would they give?
Privilege being the strength of a male body, or the privilege being how society looks at them?
How society looks at them.
Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, we gonna be here a while. No, we're not, though. We're not, though.
Can I call a friend?
So, God, I have such a disappointing answer.
I was gonna say, I was like, okay, you go.
Here's the thing. So my experience, and I only have my experience, but one of the things I so deeply love, I'm wearing half the stage art, I am sorry.
I think it's mine.
I shouldn't have been rolling around on it.
Never say that.
Never say that. Always roll around on the stage. My experience is that they have written Jody as a character who happens to be female. I think they do the same with Sam and Dean. They have written characters who happen to be male. They are specifically, they have perspective that is male, and this also could be with I'm projecting from the actors, but I don't see in the world of Supernatural things that are specific male entitlement. I see them having struggles that are emotions, and we all do that. I have them see the struggles of fear. We all do that. I see the struggles of wanting what you can't fix, and we all do that. So I think Sam and Dean are heroic archetypes that I, as in my feminist standpoint, support their existence. I wouldn't, no notes. I don't know what they'd have harder. I'm back to they'd find it hard not to stay home and play with boobs.
Oh, let's not get into that. Remember that, Con? I got in trouble for that. Listen, I can talk about my friend's dinks if they said I can. But I'm not going to. I don't think I have anything to add to that. I think that's a beautiful answer. My instinct was to say there would be no difference because I don't feel a difference with the actors. The actors make me feel like I'm one of them, being either gender. Now, that's my perspective, and that's the thing about what's the hard words you were saying?
Male entitlement?
No, you said something different.
Gender identification.
Privilege, male privilege.
Ah, there we go.
Is that I don't have the perspective of that, and I am what they call a bit of an aggressive lady. So when I do feel like I've been wronged, I am sure to write that fairly swiftly. So I don't feel the things that other people have, but that's the thing about feminism that I learned over the years is that I'm not a feminist for me. I'm a feminist for people who maybe don't feel like they have an opportunity to be a feminist. And so in terms of characters on the show, because they're pretend, in my head I'm like, I just wouldn't write that into this script. I would write that everything was fine and normal because that's how it should be.
I am super, will you ask that to Jared and Jensen?
Good luck. They'll do the same thing they did, going, hold on.
Play with boobs.
God, this is, I'm sure there is a lot of fan fiction around this, isn't there?
I don't read fan fiction. What, me? I read it all the time.
This is hard. I'm going to think a lot
That was
about
a very
this.
smart question.
We're dumb.
I'm not smart enough for that question, but thank you. I feel smarter for attempting to answer it.
I'm gonna think about that for a really long time.
You heard Kim. You heard her.
I'm gonna start now.
Somebody get a picture of that face. Somebody get that. Think harder, Kim. No.
Well, because the question itself implies that Sam and Dean do experience male privilege.
They do.
And that's kind of inherent, and yet now my job is to think about where I saw it and did I notice it? And that's the fucking insidious thing about this whole area, is that I'm so ingrained with societal norms that I don't see it. So now this face is trying to recall if I saw it and just didn't know it. That's the pain. Well, Dean putting a gun in Kaya's face. Okay, but you can argue both sides of this, right? Like, at the same it's like, okay, back up the fact that was a choice that we all had a problem with just in general. Not necessary. What the fuck are you saying about the guy? Is this moment being done to express the fact that this is a wrong moment? Like, I read the script. It was specifically in the script to show you how far from okay Dean is. Like, this moment exists because it's wrong. And he got that. And it came back to fucking haunt him. It came back to fuck his shit up. In the episode that I was just there where she was like, I saw what you did to her. And he had to confront the fact that he was not okay to do that. So, was that a societal thing? Or was that a character thing? I don't know, thank God I'm not a writer. Let's move on to the next question.
Way to go, everyone.
Ouch!
Ask us something easy, please.
Yes. I don't have a favorite color.
Look at her face. She's like, nope. You're not getting off the hook.
What do you think is the best advice you've ever given someone?
Sorry.
What happened to what's your favorite color?
Okay, here's the thing, you fuckers. Here's the thing. I come in here 10 minutes before my panel's on. David and Adam out here, uproarious laughter,
singing songs, talking about beer,
talking in their cute little accents and shit. Oh, you know, here he is, being charming as fuck.
That's really good.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Oh, jeez.
And y'all are fucking, and now I'm having to work. The best advice I've
ever given. That's hard to say. It's hard for me to be like, oh, way to go, Brianna. That was really good advice. What if they walked away going, that's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard? There's a very, very good chance that happened. I can give you my favorite quote, which is also my favorite advice I've ever received, which is don't let them tame you. Which is a quote by Isadora Duncan, who is a ballet dancer. My husband gave me that quote years ago when I was doing a stage show and was apparently too much for some of the folks. And I came home, felt small, or felt like I should be making myself smaller. And my husband's very quick. Who is my husband? If you met him, you'd be like, I don't get it, because he's quiet and somewhat introverted, but he knows who he is. And so because he knows who he is, he's very quick to show you who you are in case you forget. And that's what he did, is he went, no. Just because you're too much for those people doesn't mean you should change. It just means they're not your people. Don't let them tame you.
I like from you also, I won't dim my light just because you won't wear sunglasses. Yeah. I like that one from you too. I heard that one.
Thanks.
From this one. Yeah.
All those things. As women, I think people, but a lot of times women are told to make themselves smaller because women have a lot. Women are complex. People are complex, but women are complex beings, and that is a lot for some people, and they wish we were simpler, and so instead of dealing with their discomforts, they ask us to be smaller and simpler, and I think that's fucking bullshit. You be as complex as you want.
Just because it comes to mind, I tend to remind myself, go where the love is. And that means both internally and externally. I think too often I have the tendency to go to, you don't like me, then I'm gonna focus all my attention on you and try to make you like me so that then I like myself. And if I go where the love is here and where it is here, then I spend a lot more time feeling loved and happy. So that's what I can offer.
I still think the best way to get love, the best way to receive love is to give love. And every time I think, that person's being a dick, I'm gonna be a dick to them, I get nothing in return. But if somebody's being a dick to me and I go up to them and go, hey, I still got you, eventually the love comes back to me. So, keep that in mind. Hello.
Hello. Hey, I'm a huge fan of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Supernatural. So I'm a big Kim Modes fan.
Aren't we all, honey?
My question is, what has been y'all's favorite scene to film and your favorite lines to say on Supernatural?
Oh, as long as everyone wears a condom, we'll be fine. That scene. Also because of the stuff that you missed and it never made it in, because there were a lot of other analogies for having sex. We all just threw them out there, and Jensen was creating art with his mashed potatoes. I actually think I do have a photo of it. Maybe it's just his hands, but it's mashed potato art. Maybe I should share that someday.
Yes! I love the writers when they write Minnesota-isms into Donna's character, but I still think, oh yeah, you betcha. Oh yeah, you betcha. That's still my favorite. I actually have asked to put it into some of the scripts, because sometimes I'll talk to the writer, I'll be like, can I add it? And they're like, oh my God, yes please. Because some writers know how to write plot, but they don't know necessarily how to write for characters with the dialect. The writers are all amazing. They're not giving themselves enough credit. But every once in a while I ask to add in a little, oh yeah, you betcha. In the pilot, wasn't that a thing with the binoculars when we were looking at the ship? Oh yeah, oh yeah. And Kim's like, every time we do the take, that O gets longer. Oh yeah. My favorite scene to shoot, still probably the donut scene. Because I didn't know it would be a hilarious representation of my character. It was just my very, very first scene I ever shot on Supernatural. And it was such an awesome, awesome thing for people, for actors like Jared Jensen to be so giving to a new actor on the show, and also to have Phil, who was directing, give me that little piece to work with. I don't know, and then have the crew who've seen 7 million scenes on Supernatural be like, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, that makes an actor feel so good. I will literally go to the grave with that feeling in my heart. So, I love it. Thank you. Hello.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
Do you know what else I really liked?
What?
And I liked it when I read it, and I still like it. And all right, girls, let's go to work.
Oh yeah. That's
like that
iconic.
I like that one because I use the word girls, which is a diminutive and is often used to girls. Girls. And like to use it of like, let's bust some fucking shit up and still be girls.
Because you're taking back girls, right? You're taking it back.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, these are girls and they're gonna fuck your shit up. So back up. Hey. Oh, sorry to the little ones behind you. I know. They're hiding from me now.
My question is, what was your biggest break in character in your careers?
Wait, what?
What?
Well, like, as in,
Our biggest break as actors?
No, as a character.
As a character.
Like you break up laughing because you're like.
Oh, I see. When did I lose my mind? When I was trying to walk and ended up falling down a hill. Like that's truly, there's no way to redeem that.
Mine would have to be in theater. It's always in TV. They're so quick and short. I can usually hold it long enough in television. But when you're on stage and somebody makes you start laughing at something, it's really hard to stop. And you can't fucking stop and start over again. But I've done some long runs of some shows. And when you do a long run and perhaps you're not doing anything, you do things to make your fellow cast members giggle because you're just trying to shake it up. If you're doing a 3-month run and you're sitting on a box for 40 minutes in the back of the theater, but they're not specific things, and they might be specific things, but I can't talk about them because they're really crass. Surprise, surprise! But it would definitely be in theater. I've done things like I've gone to shake another character's hand and had hair gel in my hand. I've had people come up to me and come to introduce themselves to me and have lipstick covering their front teeth and just, Yeah, we pulled lots of shenanigans on stage.
Brian Stepanek used to crack me up on Sweet Life. Arwen? Yes. I couldn't get through many scenes with him. I lost my mind a lot with him. But that's just because he was funny. No, sorry. I wish I had funnier stories about laughing hard.
It happens too much. It's too common. It's sure funny though.
Okay, but really, is male privilege something?
Oh boy.
I'm losing the audience because I'm still back on that. I'm sorry. Help me.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
What are both of your favorite colors?
I just said I don't know.
Bless your heart.
I don't know. To wear? To put in my apartment?
Oh yeah, this is Kim. This is the epitome of Kim. Even if you ask her a simple question, she'll make it hard.
I wear a lot of black. It's not my favorite color. It's just my favorite color to wear. I enjoy blue as like blue tends to be my go-to color. But if you ask me what my favorite color is right now, it's kind of like a reddish purple sort of color.
Fuchsia.
Sorry, kind of magenta.
If you gave me a box of markers with every color in the world, I will always gravitate towards hot pink. Always. Every single time. I don't think I've ever worn hot pink. I wouldn't put it past me. But that is my favorite color in the crayon box. Thank you. Oh, that was refreshing. It was like a little sorbet in between courses. Hello.
Hi. My question is, what's your favorite thing about the other person as a mom?
Oh my gosh.
What a great question. Watching Kim be a mother is like watching a superhero do her work. It's truly like, you think you know Kim Rhodes and you think that she's a great person and you think you love her, and then you see her with Tabby and you're like, oh, I'm so in love with Kim Rhodes. Because she obviously has a great relationship with her daughter. I shouldn't say obviously. She has a great relationship with her daughter. She puts a lot of thought and energy and love into how she chooses to raise her daughter. And there's nothing complacent or passive about it. And I am standing at a convention thinking how tired I am, and Kim does the same thing and then goes home and is the most active, attentive, joyful, playful mother that I've ever seen. And it is truly an inspiration. It's true. It's true, man.
I heard once that becoming a mother is like having your heart ripped out of your body and now you have to watch it walk around for the rest of your life. Possibly jumping off of cliffs, doing shit that will kill you. Hi! No, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Boo, Billy.
No.
Stupid dumb Billy. Thinks he's so great.
No, come here.
Come on, Billy. Come on.
Come here.
We don't do that anymore,
No,
yo.
we don't do that anymore. We're
My
happy to
Borma,
see you
everyone.
because we love you. Come on. My favorite thing about Briana is the deep as a mother is the unbelievable level of courage that I don't even think she knows. To watch her daughter be herself. There is no iota of you that is telling Valentina she should be something as an extension of you. You are so willing to let her be a person, and you don't even know how much courage that takes. Because it's like, okay, little heart, go fly. Oh, so that's inspiring. I love that. So thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Can we get the little people
Sure,
there first?
sure, do it.
Hello, little people.
Hello, we'll answer fast, I promise.
My question is, what's your favorite cookie?
Oh, that is a great question.
I was like, if you really want to bone us, ask about male privilege right now. My favorite cookie is like triple chocolate, but still soft and gushy. I like soft, gushy chocolate chip and just, yeah. I want it to basically still be the dough with a hard crust around the top of it and melted chocolate.
Do you know what a Tim Tam is? Do you know what Bailey's is? One day you will.
I gotta say, Kim, as you answered that question, you finished your answer, which is, you know, the delicious portrait you painted of that cookie. Mike leaned over and he said, "She just described me." So your favorite cookie is a borja. A Tam Tam and a borja.
Did you have a quick one? Hi, sweetie.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food.
Favorite food.
I think my favorite food is spaghetti. It's my favorite food. I was the kid that didn't like, when I was growing up, I didn't like pancakes, I didn't like popcorn, and I didn't like pizza. But I love spaghetti. What about you, Kim?
Ice cream.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow. She got you with the old food
Thank you
and
so
into dessert.
much. What's your favorite food?
Ice cream.
Ah, well done, well done.
There she goes. High-fiving
High five on the ice cream answer.
another ice cream fan. And another future Bailey's drinker.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we're going.
you're going to see these two women on stage tonight for karaoke. And they're going to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, Briana Buckmaster and Kim Burley Rose.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the girl calls you bad girl, bad girl? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the girl calls you bad girl, bad girl? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the girl calls you bad girl, bad girl? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the girl calls you?
Robbie, these people in this room right now, these are Friday people. I like these people. They show a lot of gumption, a lot of moxie. Do you guys have a new Borja shirt? I know they've been doing phenomenal, specific to the city shirts featuring Michael Borja all year long, and you're wrapping up Jacksonville.
That's right.
You got, what you got?
Borja is Andrew Jackson on the front of the...
Old Hickory.
Yeah, exactly. Is that...
That's a nickname.
Yeah, sure.
Old Hickory. Wow, if it's not Old Hickory on bass. All right, cool.
With my mind on my Borja on my mind.
My mind on my Old Hickory. And Old Hickory on my mind.
Are you a big Andrew Jackson fan, or do you know the nickname of all the presidents?
Well, Jackson's on the 20. He also resided in Tennessee for a spell. So, I know a little bit about all that.
Oh, so if that's something to do with Tennessee, that's where you clock in.
Well, that's where all the good people are from, Robo.
That's right.
Nashville, Tennessee. Speaking of good people get to go do things like autographs and photographs right now, and then we will see you later tonight for karaoke, everybody. Great job, Friday people. See you later.